Hello everyone and welcome back to the unemployment journey, where we will be travelling across Europe's major leagues and trying to win as many trophies as possible. And looking at the new season ahead of us, the 23-24 season, we have moved up from 6th last year in terms of predicted places to 4th, and I think a lot of that's due to the players that have developed over the last 12 months. We've got a pretty young squad. They've developed quite well over the last season, and I think we're ready for another title challenge this year. And we're not too far off Bayern Munich, who finished 7th, so they're in Euro Cup 2. Obviously, you can see there Schalke finished quite low, so they missed out on European places. Hoffenheim and Cologne into the Europa League, with Leverkusen, Dortmund, us and Leipzig going into the Champions League. And as winners of the Europa League, we go in pot 1, which obviously is going to be beneficial for us because we miss all the big league winners, and hopefully we should get a nice group. It hasn't been drawn yet. Today's game is the Euro Super Cup against Champions League winners Arsenal, which, yeah, as an Arsenal fan, I'm pretty happy with. But just a couple of things that I picked up on here. You know, you can see the Media Dream 11. Burhan's in there as number 10 in that attacking midfield role, and I find that quite interesting because, as well as he's developed, he's not our first choice attacking midfielder, and I'll show you who that is because Jose Silva has gone on loan. But I'll just take you through some of the transfers that have happened over, well, we're still in the transfer window, so there's about 2 weeks left, so I'll just show you what we've done. And you can see a couple of loans here. Jorge Lorenzo, who we brought in for 3.1 million from Boca Juniors, really good central midfielder. He's gone on loan to Hanover along with Jose Silva, so they're both going to be paired together. Both young players, both young central midfielder players, but I just want them to get a lot more game time and a lot more experience, especially Jorge Lorenzo, who's only 18. He's not really going to be challenging for a first team place yet. There's a few players that I've got in the squad already, and I want to make sure that we have enough spaces for registration purposes. So with the Champions League, if they're under 21 and German, they don't have to be registered. But if they're not from Germany or haven't been trained in Germany for 3 years, they have to be registered. So we wouldn't be able to register him if we wanted to. So I've decided to loan him out. If we decide to trim the squad, perhaps next year, then he can come in. But he looks fantastic for his age. And I think with a lot of experience in the Bundesliga anyway, he'll just develop so much in that time. As you can see, Jose Silva's gone out as well. He's developed really nicely over the last 12 months. And I think this is a really good opportunity for him to really play a lot of games and become a really top-level attacking midfielder. He's staying in Germany on the basis that he still has that trained in Germany rule. Simon Siebert, again, young central defender. I just wanted to keep loaning him out. I don't think he's ever going to be good enough for our squad, but it will give him some value and potentially we can sell him on. Bertel, again, young midfielder that we brought in last season. He did well in the under-19s, but I just wanted to loan him out for some first-team football. Kostic has left permanently to Metz for 4 million, going up to 5.25 on clauses. He's 30 years old. He was on a really high wage for a backup option, and we brought in Conceição, who I'll show you in a little bit. And comparing them, actually, do you know what? I'll compare them right now. So if we compare with Conceição, there we go. You can see they're much better overall, and he plays naturally on both sides. That's exactly the reason why I got rid of him. I got a better player in for cheaper on lower wages, and I just thought it was time. Rono's left as well. He was our second choice goalkeeper. He's good, but I didn't want to keep him. He's not German. He counts as an extra registration spot, so I wanted to bring in a German player to cover that spot, and he had to go. We got, almost 3 million for him, so I just figured it was time to let him go. Berman's left, not great, you can see there, but we didn't need him. Vallejo wanted to go because he wasn't getting first team football. I tried to offload him permanently. He wasn't really happy with that, So he's out for the whole year to Zaragoza, hoping that he can get some value, and then maybe we can sell him on for maybe 30 odd million. We got him on free transfer at the start of last season, not on the start of our first season, sorry. So he hasn't really been playing for us, but he's still got a lot of high value to him. But he's our second choice to Mustafi at the moment, and I've brought in another central defender who I'm hoping will be the long-term partner to Benkovic, and Vallejo had to go. He wanted to go, so I wasn't really fussed about letting him go. And Trapp has gone. He has gone to Saudi Arabia, and he's on a really high wage. He's 33 years old. He was in the last year of his contract, and I just thought, I've brought in a better goalkeeper. I don't want to keep him as a second choice. So I got the offer from the Middle East, and they decided to pay 9 million for him. I was more than happy with that. It's a decent amount for such an old goalkeeper, and I just figured, why not? We'll sell him. In terms of the ins, you can see we did a lot of the business towards the start, well, before the transfer window even opened, so I'll take you through them. So Ivan Lubicic has come in. He's an attacking midfielder, but I'm going to convert him to a centre forward. He's not the quickest, or he's not the best physically, but he's got the right levels of mentals and technicals. So 16 dribbling, 15 finishing and first touch, 16 determination, 15 vision. I think he'll be fantastic. He's only 17. He came through Salzburg's academy, so being with us for a couple of years, he will develop quite nicely. He'll join the under-19s for the most part in terms of games. He won't really be playing a lot of first team football for us, but nice to have a little prospect in there as well. Saw Jorge Lorenzo, he's on loan to Hanover. Rainier is back, and I keep on scouting him just to see if his price dropped. All this time, they wanted 40 million for him, 50 million for him, and then all of a sudden it dropped to between 17 to 30 million, and we negotiated that down to 22 million, going up to 25 million. I think only 9 million of that first is up front, and then the rest is over 3 years of that 22 million. But I just thought it was fantastic, and you can see there he has developed to an absolute world-class player there, and you can see there 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. His value's already gone up to 43 million. He's only 21 years old, and crucially, I thought for a player of this quality to get him on 30 grand a week, absolute bargain there. Like, he is an elite attacking midfielder in my opinion, a massive upgrade on Jose Silva and Burhan, and I can't wait to see how the new developed Rainier will be in our squad. Nubel has joined as our new number one. He's just more complete than Kevin Trapp. His one-on-ones and reflexes aren't as high as Trapp, but I just think as an overall sweeper keeper, he's pretty fantastic. He was only valued at, I think, 9 million. So to get him for 9.5 million with no clauses, nothing. And then to get him on 36,000 a week, again, top level goalkeeper he is, and we've managed to get him for such a cheap price and such little wages as well. Like, a goalkeeper with this ability, you're looking at a solid 30-40 million with £100,000 on wages, and it was an absolute steal. It was a no-brainer. He's 26 years old. He's with us on a 5-year contract, and we've got him essentially. We've got a number one goalkeeper locked down. Giovanni Capuano for 12.5 million, going up to 18, and you can see there, he's naturally a defensive midfielder, and actually just go into his profile. So you can see there, he's a utility man. He can be used anywhere across that spine really, and even though he's naturally a defensive midfielder, I'm going to be doing this with him. So he's going to be moving to a little further back into a centre-back role and partnering Benkovic. He's left-footed. He prefers to be on the left-hand side, and so does Benkovic. But Benkovic is right-footed, so I can move him to the right, and I think he's fantastic. I genuinely could not find a better player, and for his age as well, his value's already gone up to 32 million, only 28 grand a week. He's here on a 4-year contract, and I think he's near enough perfect. 16 heading, 16 passing, 16 tackling, really good mentals, good work rate, teamwork, positioning, determination, all of these attributes. The lowest one is the vision, which is 10 and the first touch, but that can be worked on. I don't think it's crucial really for a central defender, and I think he's going to develop really, really well. 3.5 stars current ability at age 19. He'll start to come into the squad a bit more. Francisco Conceição, we mentioned, fantastic winger. He will be the second choice behind Sabitzer and Zivkovic, but great alternative to take off the bench. Much better than Kostic in my opinion. And I think, he's a wonder kid. We got him for 4 million. That's an absolute steal. Only on 18 grand a week, and I'm absolutely delighted with that. He's fantastic. And then finally, Marian Prinz. He is young. He's German, backup goalkeeper. I think he's better than Rono is. I think he's maybe not as good as Trap, but he's got the basics, the reflexes, the one-on-ones, the handling, aerial reach. It's good option. 3.5 stars, 2.5 stars even. But that is the transfers. So we've spent 51, got 15 back. Last season we made a lot of money, especially with Jibril Sal going. So I was a little bit happier to spend this year than last, and I think we're in a really, really good position. Just quickly going through the team, we'll show that now. Arsenal in the Super Cup, obviously Champions League winners. They've won it for the last 3 seasons on the bounce. This is the third. They've won it They've won the Champions League 3 years in a row, which, as an Arsenal fan, absolutely delighted with. But this is going to be the team, and you can see there star ratings have gone up a little bit because we've added some quality in the team, and we've got Nubel in goal, Toure, Mustafi, Benkovic, and Ita in the back line. Capuano only makes the bench, and you'll see why all these ratings are quite high. We beat a really terrible German team in the cup about 4 days ago, and just played this essentially a second team. Ascasibar and Bernardo in the middle with Rainier in that number 10 role. Sabitzer and Zivkovic keep their places on the wing with Gouiri up front, and we're going to need a big season from Gouiri once more, as Schnitzer's on the bench. He's young, so we'll give him the 42 shirt. And I've trimmed the squad a little bit. You can see really fantastic Arsenal squad here. Leno in goal, Edson Alvarez, Kieran Tierney, Bellerin, Saka, Van der Beek, Brozovic, Casemiro, Smith Rowe, and Nketiah. It's a really good Arsenal team. One that I'd love to have in real life. But yeah, for the fans, let's go. Let's try and get the win. And what I'm actually going to do is, because I think they are a very, very good side, is we'll do something like this again, so half back, and we'll do this little system here. I just think they're so good that I just want to make sure we don't concede. That's the idea, but I'm optimistic about our chances in the league this season. I think we've got a really, really good base of the squads. We've got depends on how we do with the injuries as well. Obviously, if the likes of say Paulo Bernardo get injured, we've got a couple of good central midfielders to bring in. Obviously, Camille's on the bench that we can bring in, and he's developing really, really nicely. Burhan as well is developing really nicely. His Rainier's effort from distance is tipped wide by Leno. Yeah, you can see there we've got some really young players on the squad. Baldassara, he's had some really good performances as well. And the more we can get these younger players involved, I think the better we might be. But if we can stay injury free for a large part of this season, I think we'll be in a really, really good position. But we're playing it quite nice at the moment. Rainier on the ball, surging forwards, and that's wider than the near post. He does like to shoot from distance. He's better than that. Obviously, we saw that first effort in the game, but this is a good start from us. I think we've been slightly the better side, so we'll tell them to get creative, and hopefully we can start essentially pressing forward a little bit more. Escasibar's picked up a booking, so I might take him off for Capuano, who's a bit more of a natural defensive midfielder, because I noticed as well, and this is part of the reason why, good save player by Leno. Camiad is not a natural defensive midfielder, and we don't really have a natural defensive midfielder apart from Escasibar. So Capuano, even though he's long term going to be a centre back for us, still natural at defensive midfield, and will be able to come in as a natural defensive midfielder if I'm not happy with Escasibar in the role. Obviously, at some point, I want to offload Escasibar. He's on a really high wage for what he offers. And obviously, Capuano will be just as good, if not better, at some point, as we're 5 minutes from half time and Benkovic heads out Saka's corner kick. Casemiro now into Alvarez, Smith Rowe, and that's wide. But we played well in this first half. I think what I'll do is at half time we will put Capuano on, because we like to see some of the new players come in. So Capuano comes on for Escasibar and dig in. Let's try and win this. It'll be nice to get another trophy on the board. Sabitzer is not having the best game, so we might look to take him off as well. But I think this is really promising. It's not the best ball out from Rainier there. As Saka comes in, Benkovic dispossesses him, finds Ivkovic, and we can counter here, but we don't get forwards. Ita into Gawiri. Now back to Ita. Capuano now. Rainier out wide to Ita. Great ball over the top. Zivkovic. That's blocked. Bernardo though. And that's not the best effort. And Leno gets his hands on it. Right, I will demand some more after this highlight here as Bellerin finds Van der Beek. Now Bellerin, can we just pressure them into making a mistake? Arja now into Bellerin. Van der Beek now. Casemiro finds Bellerin, and we've switched off on that side. Finds Saka, back to Bellerin again. Now Nketiah, and that's a big chance for Arsenal there. Right, we will demand some more. And Mustafi's having a good game against his former team, but we need to be better than this. Zivkovic isn't playing too well, so what I might do is change formation a little bit, so Zivkovic can come off for Baldassara, and we'll go to 2 up top, and then Rainier can come into that number 10 role as Camiad comes on for Sabitzer, and we'll go into a diamond, so we'll have 2 deep lying, actually make him Mazzala, and then didn't want to go into Rainier's profile. I will make him a Trequartista, just to be a bit more fun, and then a false 9. So really, Rainier comes into that. Actually, I'll make him a second striker, so he comes into that gap a little bit more, and then we'll play it a little bit wider as well, just so we don't get a bit too congested. Paulo Bernardo now can't find Zivkovic, and Leno clears that one out. Now Mustafi all the way back to Nubel. Benkovic finds it, and we're getting a lot of joy down the wings, which is actually quite good. Back to Paulo Bernardo. Can he put the ball in? Plays back to Capuano. Back to Benkovic. We're playing this quite nicely actually. Sabitzer is picked. I can't. Actually, he's offside anyway. But time's going away. We're time to get creative. It is getting a little bit tired, and he's injured, so Ambrosini can come. We can't make any more substitutions. So he's off. Capuano can come in there. Can't play. Right. This is going to be fun. So what I'll do, something like this. Go cautious. I think it goes straight to penalties. So we'll do something like that. And I'm hoping it goes straight to penalties at this point because we're down to 10 men. But we've got a chance here as Camiad finds Mustafi on that side. And Tierney dispossesses him. We might get caught out on the counter-attack here as Moussa Dembele is on the ball. And I forgot they signed him. And that's a good save by Nubel. And there's only a couple of minutes left. Benkovic on the ball. Not the best ball out. Guendouzi. That's a great tackle though. Baldassarre now. Can he make the run? He does. Can he find Gouiri in the middle? Plays it back to Camiad. And that's wide. And we've got 4 minutes to play. And we'll just get through it. And it should, I think, it's not a great ball by Capuano. We kind of panicked there, as that's the end of 90 minutes. Oh god, there's extra time. Right, so can I can't make the fourth. Do you know what? Toure, no, actually, Toure can go back to his preferred side, and Mustafi can come off for Ambrosini. Why can't I take off Ita and go back to 11 men? Honestly, it makes no sense. But yeah, we'll just do that. It's a little bit more natural. Mustafi's had a good game, but I'd rather have a little bit more natural defensive prowess, especially, they're getting forwards. I don't want to be making mistakes as Capuano clears that. A bit dangerous clearance that. But Tierney into Alvarez. Finds Brozovic. Now Van der Beek. Actually, one thing I did notice. Move these two around because I want Capuano, who's left-footed, on the left-hand side, and Benkovic, who's right-footed, on the right-hand side. But they're playing the ball. Lacazette's found on that left-hand side. It's not the best ball as Baldassarre heads that one out. Brozovic will pick it up though. Arjet into Suso. And can he put a ball in? He plays it back to Bellerin. And Brozovic, and that's wide of the near post. And my hope at this point is take it to extra time. And maybe get a goal from a set piece like this. So Baldassarre can put this one in. Does. Benkovic's header blocked. Shot is blocked again, and looks like Gouiri was offside, so maybe the shot came off him. But we've seemingly got the ball a little bit more than they do, but they're coming down the side here as Lacazette's found in the box. Toure dispossesses him. Can we counter? The ball's cleared. Baldassarre. He's got Gouiri. It's been played in. And that's a great finish. Great play by the two centre forwards there. Baldassarre waiting for the right moment to play that through ball in to Gouiri. And he's got his first of the season. And what a time to get it. Toure with a really good clearance, and you can see there Baldassarre could have played it early. He waited, saw that gap. Gouiri, and we know him. From there, he's never going to miss. What a finish that was! What a great counter attack that was! And just VAR check. He's well onside. and really well taken goal that from Gouiri. Great ball in from Baldassar as well. Really happy with that, as it's half time and extra time. And do you know what? We'll go defensive and shorter passing, lower tempo, loads of time wasting, more disciplined. Absolutely kill off this game. Praise them. I just want this game to just die out completely, as they've got the ball here, and at the moment I just want a bit more defensive nous about us. Rainier's on the ball, passes man out to Ambrosini, and just keeping it nice and measured. Cameoed into Rainier, finds Ambrosini, nods it down to Baldassara. Ambrosini once more. He's been tripped by Bellerin, and this is big. It's a penalty, and who's it going to be? It's Gouiri taking this, and he's buried it into the back of the net, and that's Frankfurt 2, Arsenal 0. What what a result this will be if we manage to hold on for the next 9 minutes. You can see there, smashed it before Leonard could even react to it, and surely that should be game over. Gouiri looks a little bit knackered there. Same with Toure. Just kill the game. Got seconds left. Ambrosini fouled by Brozovic there. He's played well since he's come on, actually. And there's a final whistle, and there's us celebrating our second trophy. And what a result. 3-time Champions League winners Arsenal have been defeated here. I checked before. The previous 2 attempts that they had at the Super Cup, they lost them both, and they probably were hoping for third time a charm. But there it is. Frankfurt win the Super Cup, and I'll just show you this. The past winners, Arsenal runners up 3 times in a row, lost to United, Napoli, and now us. And we have another trophy in the bank, and it is injured 3 weeks. Ambrosini will come in, but we've got the win, and that's what we wanted. But these are our fixtures. We start the league with Bayern Munich, so really tough game that. But, you know, we've got the Champions League coming up next month, so what I'll do is, I don't think there'll be any further transfers, so we'll just go straight into that Champions League game there. And then potentially looked at Leverkusen game, or maybe the Werder Bremen game. But yeah, the first Champions League group stage game will be our next fixture. But thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for future episodes, and make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss a video. And I will see you for our first Champions League game.